there, it's Mary from stampingmary.stampingup.net. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today's card features the Petal Park stamp set and the Petal Builder Punch. Now you'll find this stamp set on page 37 of the Stampin' Up annual catalogue. It doesn't have a sentiment with it, but so you can use any sentiment stamp that you like in our Stampin' Up collection. It has a coordinating punch, which is the Petal Park Builder Punch. Punches out these 3 flowers right here, plus the leaves as well. So this is a pretty simple card to make, and it's got a little bit of a fun background there. I hope you can make out, it looks like it's got a watercolor wash on the background, which it sort of is. I was watching a video from another very talented demonstrator, and she used a very simple method which I haven't used for ages, and I'll show you. It's really simple to do. So let's go ahead and get I'll show you the supplies. So we're going to need a piece of thick basic white cardstock for our base of the card. Going to need another piece of Lost Lagoon for that mat, and then another piece of basic white cardstock for this top piece right here. And we're going to use our blender pens, our blending brushes I should say, for that one. And then some more basic white for these flowers. Now I've gone ahead already and heat embossed in white on Lost Lagoon, this one here, with the sentiment from the Layering Leaves stamp set, this one right here. So what have I used? Hello. So I've gone ahead and done that ahead of time, just to speed up the process a little bit today. So let's go ahead and do our blending. This is a piece of basic white, and I've used one of the deckled edged dies for this one. So if you haven't checked out those deckled edge dies, I highly recommend them because they are really good dies. Just grabbing in my grid paper so we can do this, get our blending out. Now, so I'm bringing in my one of the small blending brushes, but you can use a large one, whatever you like. I'm bringing in Lost Lagoon. Now, Lost Lagoon is one of our colours that used to be part of our Stampin' Up Select collection, and then it went away, and now it's come back. So I'm just going to start off the page, take a little bit of that off, and then come on. So what we're doing is just blending. I'm not getting too bothered about whether or not it's all, it doesn't matter if there's, inconsistencies with the colour, because we're going to be doing something with it. So don't get too worried about that. So just if you do start off on your grid paper, you won't end up with those big sort of splotches. So from here, do put as much down or as little down as you like. And each time you do it, it's going to be different. I can promise you that. So I feel like that's enough for this one. We don't need the Lost Lagoon stamp pad anymore, or the blending brush. Now what we're going to do is highly technical, and we're going to splatter a little bit of water on there. That will give us those marks right there. So just a little bit on your fingertips, just because this is not watercolor paper. So I'm just dropping some water on here. Nothing complicated. The more you put down, the more longer it will take to dry. So I hope you can see that. Hopefully you can sort of see that there's some little watermarks happening. Some of those are a little bit too big, those splotches right there. So they will dry to give you that watermark effect like we've got right here. So I've done one ahead of time because this will take a little bit of time to dry. See, I've got kind of a little bit too much over there, so probably if I'd gone a bit higher to splash it down. Yeah. So the one I've actually done already ahead of time has got lots of splatters. I probably got way too much water on there, but that's okay because, like I said, they're all different. So we'll use this one. I'm going to pop my grid paper out of the way now, and let's go ahead and assemble the card. So, and do some stamping, of course. So I've gone ahead and punched out some of the flowers already, but not all of them, and a couple of the leaves. So bring in, this is Bubble Bath stamp pad, ink pad I should say, and this is our, using this one right here, that one at the top, and probably would help if I had my foam mat underneath. But I don't know where my foam mat is. Can I see it anywhere? Yes, it is. Just with these photopolymer stamps, if you have a foam mat underneath it, they do stamp a little bit better. The image is a little bit crisper, I should say. So I'm going to ink that up, and I'm going to stamp it down the same direction as those flowers are going, okay? So the smaller one at the top. Okay, and then we also want to cut out one more of the leaves, so I'm going to pop a leaf image down here, and actually we do need Lost Lagoon again, so we've got to stamp another leaf, and I'm going to do that down the bottom because I want to use all this paper. So I think it's that way. Go. So yeah, the foam mat just gives you a little bit more of a cleaner image. You don't have to have it. Just put my ink pad away. So first things first, let's stamp this out. Actually, let's stamp this. Where are my scissors? I'm going to cut that. Alright, I left enough paper on there. I didn't cut it wide enough, did I? So I should have had a little bit more width on the paper so that I could hold it a bit more easily when I'm punching it out, but I can make this work. So I'm just lining up my punch because I don't actually need all of these leaves. So what I've done is I've closed my punch in, but I haven't punched completely. I just holding it there to make sure I've got everything sort of right. There you go. It's my leaf flowers punched, and I should have had my piece of paper slightly wider. Now to do this little leaf, you've just sort of got to angle your paper in. So I'm going to cut a little bit off that to get that positioned in here. And there we have it. Okay, so there's our flowers. We don't need, like I said, we don't need them all. I only need one of the bigger flowers, two of the medium-sized ones, and two of the smaller ones. So yeah, that'll do. That's okay for what we need. Bring in a circle punch. So this is the 2 3/8 inch or 6 centimeter circle punch. I'm going to punch out circle in Bubble Bath. Okay, and then what I did was putting it together, I just put one of these down, so going straight onto that piece that we've blended and splotched, if you like. I'm going to use that one because I went a bit too crazy with that. Whoops. So I'm just going to position that one underneath so I can get the spacing right. So I want it slightly to the left there. Putting a little bit of Tombow on. Right, and then I'm just going to come in. I only want just a little bit of it poking out. So how do I feel about that? It looks good. Yep. Now I'm going to put my circle on with any adhesive, but I happen to have the Tombow right here, so let's go with that. Okay. Going more towards the top and the bottom. Here we are. And then it's just a matter of positioning your flowers wherever you want them. I need another bottle of Tombow soon. Pop that one there, and a little leaf just in here. Okay. Pop it that way. One of these ones up here. Again, you could put it on with a dimensional if you wanted to, for a little bit more height. I'm going to put the sentiment on with dimensionals, so let me just see where we're going to place that. Let's get our placement for that one. I'm having it over to the edge a little bit there. And then this is going to come underneath it, so that's about right. Gosh, can't seem to keep these little flowers. So you could just obviously use a piece of Lost Lagoon underneath, but I think the blending it and then doing that little bit of water splattering, whatever the official title for that is, I think it just adds a little bit more interest. And also I've used a piece of the full strength, the actual Lost Lagoon cardstock as a mat as well. So let's pop these away. Okay. Sentiment, which I heat embossed with white heat embossing powder straight onto Lost Lagoon. Let's come up a little bit there, I think. Yep. Okay, and I'm going to put these two leaves on first and then use a dimensional for that final little flower. But I haven't used this stamp set an awful lot. I don't know why, because it's really a lovely stamp. Really, it's a lovely stamp set, and I feel like I just haven't given it the use it deserves. So I'm going to be using it quite a lot. And what's good about these sentiment stamp sets that don't have a sentiment is you can use them for any occasion, which I really like. Get a small mini dimensional now. Pop that on the back. Position it there. So, very simple to make, and we're going to put some of the these are the pastel adhesive backed sequins on next, as soon as I find them. There we go. Again, if you don't have to, you could actually colour the inside with your blends if you preferred. I just wanted to have a bit more I like these. I like self-adhesive sequins. I like self-adhesive stuff because it just makes crafting that little bit easier. Alright, and last but not least, a bow to finish off the top. Let's grab our mini glue dot out. This is baker's twine, white baker's twine. Scraping off a glue dot. About the will do. That on. There we go. And I'm going to put, did I put that on with, yes it is on with dimensionals. Let's put some dimensionals on the back of our base. And if you wanted to, you could use the fluid watercolor paper. If you wanted to, it would actually give your card even more structure because it's thicker, but I think the thick basic white, which is all I ever use really, and just with a little bit of water. Obviously use your heat tool to dry if you're in a hurry to get that that watercolor effect to dry out more quickly. Let's pop that on, and we are nearly on. So I cut a very narrow mat there as well. And then our basic white card base. Again, I want this card to have lots of dimension, so I'm going to use more dimensionals because why not, right? Why not? And we're nearly done. So a sentiment, any sentiment you like. The hello sentiment is just perfect for any occasion really, isn't it? So and there you have it. Just a different way to use your ink, and also to combine a blending technique as well, and a little bit of splattering if you like. Let's trim that back. And that's all there is to it. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me, stampingmary@gmail.com. I have put a link to all the products that I have used today in the description bar below. Thank you and have a great day. Bye.